The world held its breath this morning in a move that stunned both allies and adversaries. Donald Trump has reportedly delayed what insiders were calling the final blow against Iran, a decisive military or strategic action that many believed was imminent. Just 28 days into one of the most volatile geopolitical escalations in recent memory, this sudden pause has raised a critical question. Why now? At stake isn't just a regional conflict. It's the balance of power across the Middle East, global energy markets, and the risk of a much larger war. If you want clear, fact-based breakdowns of global crises like this, make sure you subscribe now, because this story is far from over. To understand this moment, we need to go back decades. Tensions between the United States and Iran date back to the 1979 Iranian Revolution, when diplomatic ties collapsed and hostility became institutionalized. Fast forward to recent years, 2015, the Iran nuclear deal is signed, easing tensions temporarily. 2018, the U.S. withdraws, sanctions return, pressure escalates. 2024, proxy conflicts intensify across Iraq, Syria, and the Persian Gulf. Now, the last 28 days, day 1 to 5, rising attacks on strategic assets and regional bases. Day 6 to 14, intelligence reports suggest preparation for a major U.S. strike. Day 15-21, military assets repositioned, allies placed on alert. Day 22-27, leaks point to a final blow designed to cripple Iran's operational capacity. Day 28, sudden delay. Major actors in this crisis include the United States and its regional allies, Iran and affiliated proxy networks, global stakeholders like China and Russia. This isn't a new conflict, but it may be approaching a decisive turning point. Final strike preparations were reportedly complete. Military positioning indicated imminent action. Diplomatic channels were unusually active in the final 48 hours. Then, an abrupt halt. What the U.S. side claims, officials suggest the delay is strategic, allowing for final intelligence verification, avoidance of civilian casualties, potential last-minute diplomatic leverage. What Iran claims, Iran argues the delay proves U.S. hesitation under pressure, successful deterrence through regional posture, internal divisions within U.S. leadership. What remains unclear? Was new intelligence uncovered? Did allies push back against escalation? Or is this part of a larger calculated strategy? At this moment, the truth likely lies somewhere in between. This isn't just about timing, it's about impact. The targeted operations were believed to involve key military infrastructure, command and control systems, possibly nuclear-related facilities. Strategically, such a strike would severely degrade Iran's operational capabilities, shift regional military dominance, trigger immediate retaliation across multiple fronts. Geographically, Iran sits at the center of the Strait of Hormuz, a choke point for global oil supply, a network of regional proxy influence. Operationally, delaying the strike means maintaining uncertainty, preserving leverage, avoiding immediate escalation, but not eliminating it. This pause may be tactical, but its consequences are global. According to intelligence assessments, this delay may signal strategic recalibration rather than retreat. Military analysts suggest the U.S. may be waiting for optimal conditions, military, political, or diplomatic. A strike now could trigger uncontrolled regional escalation. Experts at major geopolitical institutes warn a premature attack risks pulling multiple global powers into the conflict. Meanwhile, intelligence communities are reportedly monitoring Iranian response readiness, tracking proxy mobilization, assessing escalation thresholds. In short, this is a high-stakes game of timing and miscalculation. But the other side has a point. Some analysts argue this delay isn't strategic, it's hesitation. Alternative interpretations suggest internal disagreement within U.S. leadership, pressure from allies to avoid escalation, concern over economic fallout. Others believe this could be a signaling tactic to force Iran into concessions or even a psychological operation. There's also the possibility of missed diplomatic signals that a last-minute off-ramp may exist but hasn't been publicly acknowledged. In geopolitics, perception is power, and narratives matter as much as actions. This decision doesn't stay in the Middle East, it reaches your daily life. Economic impact. Oil prices could spike if tensions escalate. Global markets may react with volatility. Inflation pressures could increase worldwide. Military impact. Troop deployments may expand. Regional allies could be pulled into conflict. Deterrence balances may shift. Geopolitical impact. China may leverage the situation economically. Russia could gain strategic advantage. NATO cohesion may be tested. For you, higher fuel costs, increased global uncertainty, potential ripple effects across economies. What happens next doesn't just shape policy, it shapes everyday life. So what should we watch now? Key developments, emergency diplomatic talks, military repositioning updates, intelligence disclosures. Here's what we know. A major strike was likely imminent. It has now been delayed. The reasons remain partially unclear. Two possible scenarios. One, escalation path. The delay is temporary. The strike happens with potentially massive retaliation. Two, de-escalation path. Back-channel diplomacy succeeds. Tensions cool, at least temporarily. But one thing is certain. This moment, day 28, may be remembered as either the pause before a storm or the turning point that prevented one. If you want to stay ahead of breaking global events like this, subscribe now because the next 48 hours could change everything.